Hi everyone, this is the Focus Spender, and today I'm going to be checking in on my M1 Finance account to see how it's doing now that the market has turned, and discussing how I am dealing with it and things I think you should and should not be doing. But first, if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. My channel is all about getting out of debt, staying out of debt, organizing your finances, and increasing your net worth. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find me at Focus Spender on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now let's get started. So on Monday of this week, randomly, I decided to look at my M1 Finance account, and it was doing really well. I actually was up 20%. So if you looked at my last video on M1 Finance, you saw that I was up 16% in gains overall, and now, it shot up to 20%. So I was really excited about it, and I actually almost took a picture and put it up in my Instagram story, but for some reason I just didn't do it. So the next day was actually Carnival Tuesday in Trinidad, and so while I was working at home doing my day job, I actually was streaming Carnival all day long. So I literally had no idea what was happening in the stock market because I was not watching the news. I was literally just watching people dance in Port of Spain of Trinidad. So when my fiance came home, he said, "Yo, have you seen what's happened in the market?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I remember seeing someone write on Facebook, "It's a good day to buy stocks," but I did not know what they were talking about, and I didn't look into it any further. So when he said that, I decided, okay, something actually happened. Let me check in to see what happened to my M1 Finance account, because I know it was doing so well the day before. What's happening today? So I looked, and I was actually still up, but I was only up 11%. And that's when I decided to turn on the news to see what was happening. And because of the coronavirus and new concern and panic, things started to slide that day, and the market was taking a turn. So the very next day, I decided to pay a lot more attention to what was happening, and the market went down again, and I checked, I was at 7%. So I hadn't lost all my gains, but I lost something. So the next day, I think was Thursday, and that's the day when the market really did bad, where, it had its largest one-day drop since 2011, and the Dow dropped its largest in history. And when I checked Thursday night, I was at 1.92%. Now, at some point I was like, okay, you really just need to stop checking because it's not going to get any better. So I didn't check on Friday, but now that I'm with you guys, I decided I'm going to check one last time to see how my account ended the week after starting out with a high of 20%. So let's go ahead and look at my account. Okay, so here I am in M1 Finance, and I'm logging in. Okay, so as you can see, I have not lost everything, but basically wiped out all of my gains for the year. So I'm at 0.78% in gains. So in dollars, that's $7.60. Let's see what's happening. And all of my stocks aren't down, just some. So my Microsoft is still doing really well. Apple's still doing well. Netflix, AT&T is doing well. Pepsi and Nike is still up. The things that have slid are Johnson & Johnson, Disney, Pfizer, Simon Property Group, and Canopy Growth Corporation. But honestly, Canopy has been dragging me down forever. Like it did do well at one point recently, because they had better than expected quarterly earnings, but it's back down again. So that's really what's really dragging me down. And everything else honestly is pretty good. If I go to Microsoft, it did go down, but as you can see, not as much as the Canopy Growth Corporation. So you can see where on February 19th, I was up $1,739, so probably gains of about $160, and then it just started sliding, just going down and down and down and down to this 0.78%. So let me be clear about one thing. I don't actually think we've seen the bottom yet. Today I was listening to the news, and Japan announced that they were canceling their cherry blossoms festivities. They're also going to be losing millions of dollars of revenue. So we really don't know what the long-term hidden effects of the coronavirus will be, and it's impossible for anyone to say, oh, you know, on Monday everything will be better, because we just do not know. The only thing we can control besides our own health, for the most part, is how we react to this situation. I personally am not going to panic. The money that I have invested in the stock market, I have invested because I don't need it for my day-to-day spending. I'm using it to invest for the long term, and so I'm looking at this as a long-term approach. There's no point of me rushing and selling anything, because if I do, all I'm going to be doing is selling at a loss, when I can just write it out. Maybe it takes a month, maybe it takes 6 months, maybe it takes a year. Like, I literally have no idea how long it's going to take, but I know that when I started investing, I was investing so that when I'm 65 or 60 or however, I will have that money. I'm not anywhere near those ages, so right now I do not have to worry. What I'm also not going to do anymore is continuously check my accounts every single day, because what is the point? I honestly haven't even looked at my 401k or my Betterment accounts, because again, there's no point. The money is there, it's going to get invested. There's no point for me to check. I can't sell off my shares in my 401k because I'm not leaving my job, so there's really no point for me to look. What I am going to do though is make sure I start funding my IRA for the year right now while everything is down. I'm also going to put a little bit of extra money into my M1 Finance account to also take advantage in these dips. So let me know in the comments how you're doing. Are you panicking? Are you like ready to sell? Or are you being opportunistic and purchasing extra stocks to make sure you take advantage of what is happening right now? I hope you like this video. Be sure to click like, share it with your friends, and leave me any questions below. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.